So a few months ago, we had the pleasure of driving the new Toyota GR Corolla in the perfect environment for a hot hatch, which was the racetrack. But as we know, 99% of the people who are going to be buying that car aren't going to be living on the racetrack, and instead they're going to be going about their day-to-day activities in this fast car. So today we want to see just how well this vehicle does as a normal everyday machine.
The GR Corolla's styling elevates an already visually appealing package. However, as similar as it looks to its less powerful sibling, it's instantly distinguishable as a performance hatchback. From its gaping front grille to its wider stance, 18-inch wheels, air outlets and carbon fiber roof, it looks very purposeful. The rear of the car finishes off its look beautifully, featuring 3 exhausts and a large rear diffuser that would make even Kim Kardashian feel jealous.
Ergonomically, this vehicle makes sense. Everything is quite easy to reach, and everything is also quite intuitive. Things I like about this car: the interior quality is very good. The dashboard feels nice. This combination of leather and Alcantara seats is also of a high quality. You've also got a wireless charger, but you've only got one USB port that is on this infotainment screen, and the screen itself also looks a little bit stuck on. I wish they improved a bit of the look and feel of the screen. There's nothing wrong with the way it works, but it just looks a little bit old school, especially if you compare it with what is out there from a rival perspective. But overall, it feels like a driver's car when you're sitting inside here, but at the same time, I'm still quite comfortable. So in terms of backseat space, I must be honest, this GR Corolla is better suited for 2 people sitting at the back as opposed to 3. You can sneak in a third person or a small child, but for me, it's better just to have 2 people sitting at the back here. And the good thing is, if you do have 2 people, you can lower this armrest, and you've got 2 cup holders over here, and you've also got a third one by the side of the door. In terms of aircon vents, sadly there are none, and we all know how much it sucks to be sitting at the back of a boiling vehicle. But that being said, you do have a USB-C socket so that you can charge your phone, and you also have a 230-volt socket. And I think for me, what makes this cabin feel a bit snug is the fact that you've got black roof lining, because I am quite comfortable here. My legroom is okay, and my headroom is fine. I personally am comfortable, but if I was a bit taller, I think I would battle a bit. We need to remember that this test is to find out how well this Corolla does as an everyday vehicle, and boot space, of course, is very important. So, let's take a look. 213 liters of boot space. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. You can definitely go on a road trip with this car, but for a car that could potentially be shuttling kids and dogs, a little bit more boot space would have been nicer. I would have thought that the manual gearbox in this car would have been a little bit of a hindrance in terms of its everyday appeal. But when I tell you that this gearbox is a pleasure to work with, it really is. The clutch action is very light, which is quite interesting because you would think that for a performance car, you would need a heavy clutch. I mean, earlier on today, I sat in almost 40 minutes of load-shedding traffic, and my leg was okay. And right now, sitting in the normal mode, this Corolla is very much the standard Corolla in terms of how it feels. Yes, the vehicle is harder than a normal Corolla. We have to tell you that from the get-go. But whilst it is quite firm, it isn't back-breaking. When you've got it in its normal setting, the dampers are softer than usual, and the vehicle feels firm, but it feels quite poised on the road. You can still tackle a few corners quite enthusiastically without having to engage sport mode. But then, when you do then go into sport mode, you can feel that the car gets a bit more focused, and you can feel that this car has got a certain tension to it and it wants to go. this is where the car becomes very exciting. This little GR Corolla can easily get you into trouble, but it's because of the way that the vehicle reacts. You would think that a small 1.6 turbocharged engine would have a lot of lag and you'd have to wait for the power to engage. But to me, this vehicle is set up in such a nice way that whenever you put your foot down, you've got the power that kicks in and there's this surge of torque that comes in. And it's amazing, you've only got 360 Newton meters of torque, which is not a lot when you consider the competition, but it's the balance of that torque compared to the power that makes this vehicle very accessible as a performance car. I haven't driven a medium-sized hatchback that is this exciting in a long time. But what is also quite interesting about this vehicle is the fact that you don't always have to be driving fast to enjoy it. There's so much character in this engine and it rewards you every single time you're driving it. Because you've got the four-wheel drive setup, you've always got this assurance of grip when you're getting out of a corner. This is still very much a Corolla. It's the kind of vehicle that you can do the school run with ease, but when the right moment arrives, you can simply downshift once, downshift again, and boost away to work. What a car. This is a lovely vehicle. So is the GR Corolla as good on the track as it is as a daily driver? Personally, I think so. Even though you have got a manual gearbox in this car, you're not severely compromised when it comes to your daily driving experience. With a starting price of 841,000 Rand, it's also not badly priced too, especially when you compare it to its rivals. Personally, I think this is one of the best hot hatches money can buy at the moment.